You know, when someone asks me what my favorite places in Seoul are, the temptation is to try to think of the places that are most interesting, most exciting, restaurants with the best food or shops with the best interiors, something that really catches the eye. But the reality is, most of my favorite places are really kind of mundane and boring. So, prepared to be bored. All right, it's the first Tuesday of 2024, my first vlog of 2024. Happy New Year. I've come out today to Songbuk District. It's just to the east of Jongno-gu, which is, downtown central Seoul area. And I've come here because of a request someone left in a comment on one of my other videos. They asked me to show some of my favorite places in Seoul. I've been here a long time. I should have a lot of favorite spots, cafes, that sort of thing. So this video is the first one in which I'm going to do that. I will have more to follow, but I do have a couple of caveats. First, if you're looking for favorite cafes, I can't help you because I kind of missed out on the whole explosion of the cafe scene here in the last couple of decades. Back in the 90s, the coffee situation in Seoul wasn't all that great. It was a little bit underwhelming. So, when chains like Starbucks and Coffee Bean and Tea Leaf started opening here, that's where boom, I just made a beeline for those when they first opened. And I'm gonna do a video later about the coffee culture here and how it's evolved, not just since I've been here, but even before that. And I'll explain why I kind of didn't get into the cafe scene here. So I don't have any favorite cafes to show you. I'm going to discover some later on, and I will talk about that. But I do have, restaurants that I like to visit, bakeries, markets, shops, neighborhoods, that kind of thing. So I'll have plenty to show you. But the other caveat is that, because I kind of got into a rut for several years where I just stopped exploring, it was kind of rare for me or even my wife to just go out and try new places and find new favorites. And so, a lot of my favorite restaurants and shops and stuff aren't around anymore. They've closed, they've moved on. And I haven't been finding new ones fast enough to keep up. But I do still have a lot of spots I like to go to. So yeah, it's just, when I go out for my walks, I'm always thinking about, what I've got to do when I get back home. And I just don't take the time to really check out new shops and new restaurants and stuff. And so I always end up just, stopping by the places I know and maybe ordering from Coupang Eats once I get home. So anyway, I've got to rectify that, and that's one of the reasons I'm vlogging these days. I want to show you guys what I do. But anyway, right now, I'm taking you to one of my favorite bakeries. Now, I didn't used to be much of a bread eater. I just never really had the good stuff, didn't know what I was missing out on. And the situation in Korea back in the 90s, like the coffee situation, wasn't all that great. And, you could go to a bakery and buy some kind of pastry or, whatever, and it just wasn't good. And then you have, bakeries that have a more Korean style of pastry and stuff, and I never really got into those either. But sometime in the last 20 years or so, the bakery scene has, it kind of expanded and improved and took off. And now you can find tiny little bakeries all over the place, independently operated. And they are often pretty good. Some of them are very good. And I kind of developed a taste for it now. I have to go to Europe once a year for a conference, and every time I go, you know, since I've been going, I've developed a taste for good bread. So this place that I'm going to now, it is a small place. And as far as I know, it's the only branch operated by the owner. And it is really, really good. Okay, their ciabattas are really good. This is what we come here for. This is a tomato jalapeno ciabatta. This is a potato ciabatta. This is garlic ciabatta, and this is olive, and this is bacon and spinach. Going for the bacon and spinach and the tomato jalapeno. And of course, the olive. And then this garlic bread is really, really good too. This garlic baguette. Come on now. Yeah, they have all kinds of stuff here for such a small bakery. 네. 아니요, 안 해도 돼요. 네. 아니요, 필요 없어요. So a lot of little bakeries will give you an extra piece of bread if you spend over a certain amount. This place usually gives one. Today they gave me two. How nice. So what I like about that name, Baker Lee, if you write the word bakery in Korean, in Hangul, and I mean the English word, I don't mean translate it, I mean transpose it from Korean, from English to Korean, then you get bakery, right? The R and the L doesn't exist in Korean. There's this, so normally when you transpose English into Korean, you get this one character that can represent both of them. And so when you get bakery and you take that, go back to English, you could get either bakery or Baker Lee, right? If you don't include the space. But yeah, I think that's a fun little name. So usually after we go to the bakery, we'll come over to this restaurant that I'm about to take you to. It's just right around the corner from the bakery. You can see the bakery right there, Yishine Bangchip, where the flag is. And this restaurant is nothing to write home about. It's not the kind of place, you know, you'd come out of your way to go to. Unlike the bakery, you know, we actually go out of our way to go there. But the restaurant here, it's just one of those really satisfying, really nice kind of home-cooked restaurants, yeah? And it's called Hanu Seolleongtang. Seolleongtang is a kind of bone soup with like brisket in it. And it's really good, but they have other things here, and I'm not sure if I've ever had the seolleongtang here, actually. I generally, in the summer and the spring, I generally get the naengmyeon here, the cold noodles, the buckwheat cold noodles. I really like it here. And I also sometimes eat their manduguk, their dumpling soup. But today, I think I'm gonna go for the bibimbap, the dolsot bibimbap. Let's see. So this place is kind of empty right now because I'm here. It's like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. It's not lunchtime, it's dinner time, it's in between. And it can get a little busy in here during lunch, but especially on Sundays, this place is kind of hopping. And my wife has this kind of metric. I call it the elderly eater metric. Her idea is if a restaurant is busy with elderly people, then it's worth visiting to try it out. And so far, that metric has not led us astray. That's why we came in here. We came by here one day on, I'm pretty sure it was a Sunday, and we just happened to peek in, and there were a lot of elderly people eating in here. And my wife says, "This is it. We're eating here." So we did, and it's really good. I don't know if you can hear it sizzling or not, but it is sizzling. What I really like about the doso bibimbap is when you get to the bottom, the rice on the bottom is just like crispy and crunchy. It's really good. And they don't give you a lot of side dishes here, a lot of banchan. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. Today I just got this, the little fish, and I've got some soup here. But they keep their kimchi in these bowls here. You've got the cabbage kimchi here and the radish kimchi here. So and you have these little plates, these dishes, bowls, sorry. Huge chunks of radish. Usually it's smaller, but this place they give you big pieces. Some places do. Seollongtang places usually do, actually. All right, and then for the bibimbap, they give you the gochujang, a red pepper paste. You don't have to put this on, but I like to put a good bit of it here. Add a little kick, and then you just mix it up. Yeah, I had enough kimchi for 2 people, I think, but yeah, the kimchi here is really good. And you know, the banchan, the side dishes, sometimes they give you 2 or 3, sometimes they just give you 1, and it's different every time I come here. I don't know I guess it depends on what they've got in stock. But anyway, yeah, that was good. So now I'm gonna take you over to another of my favorite little spots here that we often visit when we're in the area, and that's this little market not far from here. So let's go. So I've never really thought about why I like this area. There's nothing exciting here. There's nothing fancy to look at, really. You got these few little cafes like this that I've never been to. And I mean, there is the stream here, but there's plenty of streams around Seoul. And the stream itself isn't why I come here. So I had to think about that as I was preparing to make this vlog, because when I thought of my favorite places, this is the first place I thought of, and that bakery was the first shop I thought of. So what is it about this place? And I think it's got to do with the vibe. This place feels like home. I mean, not my home in America, but it just feels homey, like a place where I would like to live. You know, it just has that vibe when I come here. I mean, the neighborhood I live now, I like it. I like the location of my building, let's put it that way, because I've got all these woods behind my house. There's some nice trails to hike on and walk my dogs on. But the neighborhood itself is, it doesn't have the vibe I like, right? And I had a debate with my wife a couple of years ago. We were getting ready to extend our contract. We've been there 6 years now. And so a couple of years ago, we were getting ready to extend our contract, and I said, why don't we move somewhere else? And she really, really, really loves being next to those trees. And I've got to admit, I like it too. But the rest of the neighborhood is just meh, you know? It's just a place. So I don't really hang out there a lot. But this place, this has the feel of home. It has the feel of a place I'd like to live. And I think it goes back to the neighborhoods I lived in the 90s. It kind of feels like that. And here we are at the market. Donam Shijang, Donam Market. I don't like all the big, busy, popular, crowded ones. I like these little smaller, quiet ones. I guess quiet is the name of the game for me. You're probably going to be bored by all the favorite places I show you. But yeah, that's why I like coming here. And there's one reason in particular I like coming here. I mean, most of the stuff is just, you know, you can find it anywhere. So every time we come to this area, we always drop by, well, not always, but we usually drop by this market and pick up a bit of tteokgalbi, which I'll show you in a minute. All right, so this is the reason I like to come to this market. This is tteokgalbi. It's grilled short rib patties, minced short rib. And you can get this in a lot of different places around Seoul, and a couple of other markets I go to, they have it, but I love coming here. It's really, really good here. And they also sell banchan here. So often, you know, the side dishes. So often when we come here to get the tteokgalbi, we'll also get some banchan to take with us. So I'm gonna get some tteokgalbi here today and take some of it home with me for dinner later this evening. And maybe I'll pick up some banchan too, we'll see. We've still got a lot of stuff at home, so I don't know if we need any, but I'll see what they've got on sale today. But yeah, this is good stuff. So I got my tteokgalbi. 4 of them are 10,000 won. supposedly used to be the food of royals. This is stewed potatoes, one of the banchan items they sell there. And this is fried eggplant. Yeah, good stuff. So I've come out on the east side of the market, and that's brought me out very close to Sungshin University Station, Sungshin Women's University Station. And now this area here, this little street, this is a university neighborhood. There are many of these around the city, and I don't really know this one very well. We don't come here to this part of the area usually, my wife and I. Once we hit the market, we usually go home. But I've walked through here a few times, and you know, it's a typical university neighborhood. There's lots of cafes and convenience stores and street food and restaurants and bars and all the stuff university students like to do. So it looks like there are a few people out this evening. So anyway, one day I'm gonna come through here and check it out, see what all they've got. The only reason I come here now usually is the Starbucks, but I'm not going there right now. I am gonna get on the subway and head back to my neighborhood and to my house. So this, believe it or not, oh, egg bread. I don't have any cash on me. Might have to try that next time I'm here. I'm not hungry right now. So that's it for this time. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. I'll show you more of my boring favorite places as time goes by. And also, see you next time. Bye-bye.